Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room. Today, lucky enough to have Amy from Downright Diesel from the ski fields to
Hong Kong, to there.
Pilbara.
Did a bit of work in Japan as well, and I just say yes to a lot of things.
I want to know the backstory about how you made your way to Antarctica.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Multiple times, yes. I've done 3 seasons. I've done summer at Mawson Station, a winter at Davis, and a summer at Casey. So,
Wow.
You pretty much feel like David Attenborough some days.
Do you?
Yeah.
You see any cool animals there?
Heat. So, Mawson, the highlight definitely would have been Oster Rookery. So Oster Rookery is a breeding area for emperor penguins. So I think it was about 50 k's. You drive along the sea ice between icebergs out to Oster Rookery, and it really was just like sitting in a documentary.
Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room. Today, lucky enough to have Amy from Downright Diesel. Amy, thank you very much for coming and take the time to spend with me.
No, thanks for having me.
Not a bloody problem. Look, before we go into anything, people may have that watched the last episode would have noticed that there's been a change in the studio. We've actually lucky enough to have partnered with Mega Resources. So you heard of Mega Resources?
I have been following them on LinkedIn.
Bit of a build. They're on a build. They've got some great people at the helm. Josh Connolly called me up and said, Josh, really love what you're doing with the podcast. How can we help? And I said, well, mate, I'm covering all the wages. I'm covering the editing team. I've been covering everything. So would love a little bit of monetary input. And he said, not a problem. So, we're going to be doing a bit of a spiel on Mega Resources, but you should definitely jump in and go and see them.
I definitely will be. I'll be giving them a shout out for sure.
Beautiful.
So look out for my call.
I'll let them know it's coming.
Perfect.
Look, Amy, we always start with the life and the times. So let's go into the younger years and then we'll make our way to where you are today.
Well, it's a long journey.
Beautiful.
It's been a long journey, as it is for anyone. But, I grew up in Newcastle, oldest of 4. But, we moved around a lot. But I was a bit of a rat bag as a teenager. I think a lot of people were. But I wasn't. Still had good grades. Still did well at school. But I guess school's not for everyone as well. So
What age did you leave school?
15.
Awesome.
Almost 16. So, I was pretty much an adult by then. At least you think you are anyway.
You do at that age, don't you?
Yes. So I then moved up to the Sunshine Coast, up to Brizzy, lived the high life, still a rat bag. Yep. Good friends, but still a rat bag. But I think I got to a point where I was like, I wanted more than just working in retail and just getting by. And that I kind of thought about things and what I wanted to do. And as you know, I kind of got into aviation because I loved planes, but I couldn't afford to be a pilot. It's expensive. So I think I got on the Yellow Pages because this is before the internet. So Yellow Pages, looked up, aviation companies and gave them calls. And then I found a place called Aviation Australia where I could start my certificate in aircraft maintenance engineering. So
wow.
Yeah, started that. And I think that has really been a foundation of my attitude toward my work as a mechanic where I am now. So
A lot of responsibility.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
200 odd people in the skies and you've been working on their planes.
Yeah, it was more smaller ones, a bit more private.
Yeah, okay.
But still, same risk, same cost.
That's right.
It's, it was before my time, but, if you did a repair, you went on the test flight. They were the older guys would tell us about that. Back when I was younger, we'd have to go on the test flight. Do you trust your work? And that's...
Yeah, you'd want to have attention to detail, eh?
Yeah.
You don't want to be leaving any bolts out or anything.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good with their systems, and it is very well systemised.
So how long did your trade take, and what was the trade called?
Aircraft maintenance engineering, and unfortunately, I never got to finish it because
Okay.
we hit the GFC, so 2008 global financial crisis.
Yes.
So that kind of threw a spanner in the works, literally for
that.
for a lot of people. So I had a break for maybe a year, but I was doing night fill because it actually paid really well.
Wow.
So, and then I again wanted to get back into a trade, and one of the guys that I went through my course with, he came from a diesel fitting background and mechanics and mining, and I was like, I'll I'll look into this again. Just start calling companies, send my resume, and then I ended up doing my apprenticeship on forklifts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on little forklifts, which in hindsight I was very thankful now, looking back. Everyone wants to work on the big machines, but working on something so simple, one battery, one hydraulic pump, you really grasp the basics. But I can still remember some of the interviews I went to, and this is back before, there were women in trades. And it's quite funny because you wouldn't be able to do it now. I sat in the interview and he was like, so are you planning to have children in the next 4 years?
Is that what you were asked?
And I was like...
No one's asking those bloody questions now, are they?
No, and I was like, well, one, you can't ask me that, and two, these aren't childbearing hips, and he just...
That's what he said?
That's what I said.
Did you get a laugh out of him?
I did, yeah. Maybe that's why I got the job.
Awesome.
So
okay, that's awesome.
That's how, got into my trade.
So coming out of your trade, I want to also know about this stint. I want to know the backstory about how you made your way to Antarctica.
Ah, yes.
Multiple times.
Multiple times, yes. I've done 3 seasons. I've done 2 summers and a winter. So I did a summer at Mawson Station, a winter at Davis, and a summer at Casey. So
wow. How did you get there?
A lot of hard work and persistence is
Jumping
how
on the phone?
Not so much phone calls, and then the internet was a bit more involved, a little bit. So I actually found out about it from a coworker, and I was like, oh, this sounds good. I'm the kind of person that I like to bite off more than I can chew and put myself in situations that are
uncomfortable,
very uncomfortable.
I love it.
So I applied. I probably, in hindsight, was underqualified. I think I was only 2 years out of my trade then. So I applied. I didn't get the role that year. So what I did, so you apply in the summer. So what I did, I started applying to all Australian ski fields. So I was like, okay, maybe I can get some snow experience. That'll do it. So I applied to all, like Thredbo, all through New South Wales, Victoria, and then I didn't get any responses back. So I thought, okay, what can I do? So I started cold calling. This is when long distance calls were a thing. So I started cold calling ski fields in New Zealand. So it was like, no. And then one day someone's like, actually, we are looking for a mechanic. And I was like, oh. Then I actually didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, shit, someone said yes.
Now I'm going to have to go and work.
Yeah, so I sent my resume over, and I think I was over there 6 weeks later, over just
Where'd you go, South Island?
To Christchurch.
Okay.
Yeah, a little ski field called Porters. So I spent a year over there doing that. And then once again, I applied to the Antarctic division. I didn't get accepted. I was like, okay, that's all right. What else can I do? And that time in my life, I ended up moving to Hong Kong. It was very different. I've had quite
You're jumping all over the place here.
Yeah. So threw myself into a country where no one really speaks English. So that was interesting and character building, for lack of better words.
Did you learn any Mandarin?
No, I shouldn't have.
Cantonese?
I should have, I mean. So I find it quite an aggressive language.
Yeah.
And very hard to learn. So worked over there, and then I asked the people at the Antarctic Division for a bit of feedback, like what am I lacking? Where can I improve? And I was lacking in caterpillar experience. So that's kind of the first time I entered into mining. I started doing fly in, fly out into the Pilbara. And yeah.
Do you know what year that was?
Ooh, would have been 2015, 2016.
Yeah, okay.
I'd have around then. So, and that was an eye-opener in itself. So after that...
From the ski fields to...
Hong Kong to there.
Pilbara.
Did a bit of work in Japan as well. And I just say yes to a lot of things. I started doing fly in, fly out from Hong Kong into the Pilbara. And that was my first kind of introduction to mining and remote work, because I needed the caterpillar experience and I needed remote work experience. So I just wasn't taking no for an answer. I was like, this is what I want. This is where I want to be. What can I do to get there? And how can I make it happen? And just having resilience. Like, people are going to say no all the time.
And being persistent.
Persistent. And just because someone says no doesn't mean you're not worth it. Just take it as a learning opportunity. And okay, so all right, what can I do now to make this happen? Like, don't get disheartened, which I think is a strength, but it's also, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So, yeah, and then I think it was the fourth time I applied and I got a yes. It was like, oh, my God, I'm doing it. So
Awesome.
I did, the first time was 4 months at Mawson, and it's actually quite an interesting story because...
Go, hit me with it. I'm intrigued. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, so I'd done my 4-month stint, and the day that I was meant to depart, or a couple of days before, our bags were on the ship, and the station...
So you're not flying into Antarctica, you're going on a ship.
Yeah, so certain stations. So if you are going into Mawson or Davis, you'll go on the ship. So it's a 2-week voyage from Hobart, and so you got 2 weeks down, and that's when they do the crew change out. So they'll do resupply, and they'll swap out the winter crew from the previous year, and then the summer and winter crew will come in. And then at the end of the season, at the end of the summer people are picked up and taken back, and the winter people are there for the next 8 or 9 months.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I think it was like 2 days before we were meant to depart, and the station leader said, look, there's been some changes at Davis, and do you want to stay for the winter? So I literally had to make an overnight decision to stay, and I had a partner at the time. Obviously, I had to discuss it with her, and she was cool with it. And, I made an overnight decision to stay another 9 months, I think it was, 10 months.
Wow.
So the ship dropped me off at the next station, and then, that's where I stayed for nearly a year.
What about so how many people in your team? Like how that's a long time to stay in Antarctica.
It is. We had, Mawson is it's a smaller station, so we had over our summer, I think it was 29 people. So that's comprised of, you'll have a station leader, doctor, a chef, plumber, electrician, mechanic, like a building supervisor, so all the trades to keep it running. You might have some scientists there over the summer, but over the winter it's just a core team to keep that station running. So we had 18 people, including myself, over that winter. So it definitely...
What was that like for a whole year working with 18 people?
You don't come back the same. And it...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I think you really get to know yourself, but you also learn a lot of skills. So you're working in a small team, and so there's none of this every man for themselves. It is we are one, and
awesome.
Everyone pitches in. Like if the shit pipe blows at 2 a.m. and the plumbers are out there, people are out there helping. You might have the chef, you might have a mechanic. Everyone is like so banded together, and the teamwork is next level that coming back to work in Australia, it was really difficult. Like it was a really difficult transition. Like I went into a workshop in Perth, and I think I was just setting up parts for night shift, like getting them ready, get it all set up, and someone's like, what are you doing? I'm just setting this up, so all they have to do is, like, nah, stuff night shift. They can do it themselves, stuff that shift. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, wow. This can be a really well-oiled machine here. So that was a really big transition. But not only do you get to do your trade, you get to learn a lot of other things and help other trades, help the doctor, like wow. help process your own blood test. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, help the scientist, and it's a really, really cool experience.
What do you think were your top 3 takeaways from that experience?
Ooh. You pretty much feel like David Attenborough some days.
Do you?
Yeah.
You see any cool animals there?
Heaps. So Mawson, the highlight definitely would have been Oster Rookery. So Oster Rookery is a breeding area for emperor penguins. So I think it was about 50 k's. You drive along the sea ice between icebergs out to Oster Rookery, and it really was just like sitting in a documentary. Like it was so quiet, yet the sound of the birds just twittering was epic. Like it's hard to describe. It's challenging to take photos of and impossible to describe to someone else. Like it's hard to take in. So it really is one of those experiences that it leaves you lost for words some days. But then, a whole year's a long time. Yeah.
So we'll go back to the 3 takeaways.
So
you've given me one.
Yeah, David Attenborough. I guess that's the biggest one. 3 takeaways. I think it definitely made me better in my trade as well. It added a complexity to it that we don't have here in Australia, and that is we only get that one supply, that resupply. So if you have a machine that's broken down, you don't have the parts. Like I remember making a starter motor out of 2 old ones, like and making one good one. And we had an engine rebuild, and we only had 11 of 12 valves, and there was a valve lapping machine. I hadn't seen one of those since TAFE. So we're lapping valves. Like there were all these really old skills from the 70s, like from old school mechanics, like proper mechanics, not fitter, like proper mechanics. And really tapping into those skills was, I loved it.
Awesome.
I loved that part. And a third one, I guess teamwork. Teamwork was a huge one and really cemented how if you get a team that is so solid, how well it can work. If you have the right people working together with the right attitude, it really can be very successful.
That's awesome. So those skills that you learnt took you to start Downright Diesel?
I guess so. So starting Downright Diesel didn't really have a plan. It wasn't a plan. So I think it was after my last summer at Casey, and I live down in Denmark, country town.
Oh, wow.
So
it's beautiful down there.
It is very beautiful. There was no auto sparky down there. So
Don't tell me you did an auto sparky apprenticeship as well.
Yeah. Well, technically, yes, I have. So
Amazing.
So, well, when I did my trade, I'll digress a little bit here.
Go for it. That's what we do. That's the thing.
Yeah. So when I did my trade back in, nearly 20 years ago, there wasn't auto sparkies. Like if you were working on a machine and you're out 3 hours from nowhere, you did everything. You fixed the lights, you fixed the alternator, everything. So I'd never worked with an auto sparky. And it wasn't until I got back, I think it was like 2020, and I went into underground mining, that I think I was doing something simple. Let's say, I think it was an alternator. And someone was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "That's a sparky job." And I was like, I think it's everyone's job, but okay. But it was just, I always had the skills there, just didn't have the formality behind it. So I went through and did the apprenticeship to get signed off, but I think I'm one module short.
Wow.
But
you got the knowledge.
Got the knowledge, got the aircon ticket, got all the things you need to be licensed for.
Yep.
Just that.
Have you got an auto sparky working for your business?
Not as yet. I'd love to, because I'd love to finish it off and get the actual tick of approval. So
go for it. Get it done.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I was capitalising on that. So I started just got an ABN. I thought, well, if I can make $20,000 a year, I can claim my car. It's good for tax purposes.
For sure.
I'll just do that. And then one day a friend of mine hit me up he goes, "You got an ABN?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you subby?" I said, "Yeah, no worries, I can do that." And then so I was working full time at one mine, week on, week off, went and subbied, and it went really well. And the client was like, "Do you want to keep coming back?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So
awesome.
They were like, "We'll give you a vendor." And I was like, "Oh, isn't that really hard to get?" They're like, "No, we really want you to come back." So
speaks volumes.
Yeah, so for 6 months I was doing both. I was juggling both, and I was getting burnt out, for lack of a better word, and I wasn't spending much time at home with my partner. And I was like, right, I can either stay working for someone, and I think because I had that module left, it was kind of keeping me there, or I run with this. And I was like, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, and I can just
go back to
and I
working
can
in
just
the
go
mines.
back, right?
Yep.
So I thought, right, I'll work for myself. I'll contract. And it was going well, and I think it was only a couple months in, and then a friend of mine called. He's like, have you got any work? And I was like, and he's a unicorn, like
really
amazing guy. I said, for you, I'll find it. And then one came on, then the next.
How many staff you got?
We've got 6.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So small, but
Yep.
I think quality over quantity is definitely.
How many sites are you servicing?
We've got about 6 at the moment that we service, and we do some civil work as well. And we just did we just went up and did an offshore project as well. So,
wow.
And we do some work in Japan. So
is that from your stint in Japan the contacts that you made?
yeah, funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go hit me with that.
Well,
little funny story.
It is. People think my siblings think I'm crazy sometimes. So.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, so tell me your story. Tell me your bloody story.
I was actually flying to Hobart for some stuff for Antarctica, and my partner at the time was a pilot, and I met a guy on a plane. Is pretty much how I got to Japan.
Yep.
So I met a guy on a plane, and he was like, "Oh, my friend's going to buy this excavator. Do you have any tips?" And then we started talking about machines in Antarctica and what they have. And I mentioned a Haglund's, which is like this all-terrain, dual-cab, amphibious vehicle. It's pretty cool. And he's like, "I think he's got one of those." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "I think he's got one." So anyway, we caught up for drinks later, and he said, "Yeah, I spoke to him, and he's currently changing it from a petrol to a diesel and could use a mechanic." And I was like, "All right, I'll give him a call." So I gave this guy in Japan a call. He's Kiwi. Oh. And sure enough, he did it. So 2 weeks later, I was like on a plane flying to Japan to meet a guy I hadn't met. Awesome. My sister's like, "You're going to lose a kidney." I was like, "It'll be fine." Yeah. Like just saying yes to crazy things.
Yeah, for sure.
But it just opens doors, and you never know what comes from it, right?
No, you don't.
That's probably the worst that would happen, but I'm sure a lot worse can happen in your own hometown. For sure, definitely. Yeah. What's your philosophy on building a high-performance team? Attitude over experience. Or not. Obviously, you need to have experience, but attitude trumps. Yep. You could have the person with the most knowledge and knows everything about this machine, but sweeping the floors beneath them, and they're too good for this, and they're lazy. But you could have the guy that might not have worked on, a jumbo, but his attitude is, "I want to know and I want to learn everything." That you just can't teach it. You can't teach the attitude, and unfortunately, I think in the industry now, that's what's lacking, is that attitude. So that makes it's difficult because a lot of people are there for the money. Yeah. Well, everyone's there for the money. Everyone is. And a heavy diesel fitter is getting. It's insane.
You guys are writing your own checks out there in the industry at the moment, eh? Oh, it's wild. Insane. It's wild. I see lots of things that are lacking. I talk to so many different people, and everyone's got a different story about what's lacking skill wise, but attitude certainly does come up. Yeah. Maybe we're spoiled. Maybe with these massive wages, we're spoiled. Sport for choice in the job. Yeah, I think it's there's so much demand. There's so much demand in the industry at the moment that people just need to take what they can get. Yeah, and I think it's not hurting the industry, but it definitely is. It is a crux of it. Mm. So you talk about do it once, do it right. That is our slogan. Yep, you mentioned that to me a couple of times this morning. So go into exactly what that means. Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is. What does it mean for you, and when you're onboarding staff and you're having to tell them this is our slogan, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Don't rush jobs, and do it once, do it right. Yeah, and I guess again it comes down to the attitude, and the people that take pride in their work. And, they enjoy what they do. But in the real world, do it once, do it right. Sometimes it's hard because you are bound by what the client wants. It's their money, it's their machine. And what do the clients usually want? Do they just they bring a truck in and they want it out as fast as they can? Depends. Like if they're like we've had some new clients, and that is the mentality. And it's not till I'll give you a real world example, because that's probably the easiest way to explain it is, let's say, and this did happen, we had a truck that had failed brakes. So we suggested you need to do all 4 brake packs because there's contamination, it's gone through the pump, it's gone through everything. But they wanted to save cost and save downtime, and they only did the front 2 that were beyond the allowable limits. Yep. It's because the back one still had, 1 or 2 mil wear to go. Fair enough. But this is why we want you to do 4. So we've just done 2, and then sure enough, by the end of the week, the rear ones had failed. How long would they have got if they'd just done all 4? If they'd done all 4, flushed the systems, it would have been like running like normal. So for a month or? No, for the service life, had it, if it maintained correctly. But not only did we then have to do the back, we had to do the fronts again. Oh, so really? Instead of doing 4, we've now done 6. So it's really looking at the bigger picture of, yes, we can get this out the door.
We can 100% get this out the door. But if we spend this next hour and do it right, it's not going to break down. But if we can rush it out the door, we can dodgy it up. We don't want to do that and we don't like it.
Yep.
But then let's say you have another shift downtime and then you've lost $16,000 in downtime. That's just then far outweighed that 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's really getting the customers on board as well.
Well, the customers should really be listening to their contractor.
Well, and that's in mining. In the civil world, it's a lot different. It is their money. It is coming out of their pocket or their business. So that's when good troubleshooting comes into play, and we're not just swapping parts out, because as soon as you fit it, you can't return it.
Yeah, that's right.
So another real example, this was in Denmark, because I think that's the best way to explain it.
Definitely.
A little excavator that, had no hydraulics. And then, long story short, we've pinpointed that it's this solenoid. I'm like, yep, it's definitely stuffed. I've called Kobelco. Okay, I've got this solenoid, this is the part number. They're like, yep, $1,600. $1,600. Am I sure? Am I sure it's that solenoid? Go back. I'm like, I'm sure, but there was this little bit of, I don't want to be wrong, because I can't then charge the client for something that it wasn't.
Yep.
And then that is a mindset you don't really see in mining a lot.
Yeah. It's a throwaway society.
It is, very much so. But when it's coming out of your pocket,
yep.
It's $1,600, and if I'm wrong, that's out of my pocket. And I suddenly
you got to wear it, and you put it, and then you've just got one in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Sitting there doing bugger all.
Doing nothing, yeah.
Highly unlikely that you'll ever have an opportunity to
to use it again. Yeah, so it's all the crossover between aviation, civil and mining they're worlds apart.
What's the biggest challenge that you have had to endure in business?
Oh,
there's heaps.
There's
right?
so many.
I know, but hit me with your biggest one.
I think people are the biggest one. I'm really lucky that the team we have are phenomenal. Like, they don't need to be managed, and they really fit that do it once, do it right, and the philosophy we're aiming for. But the biggest challenge, so many. People for the work for the people, learning all about all the finances and networking. And I came into this with minimal network. I really just bit off more than I could chew as usual.
Are you part of the WA Mining Club?
I am.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's a great start. Yeah.
Yes.
You've been to many luncheons?
I've been to a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to two as well.
Yeah, they're great. So
great
definitely
team.
Get to more.
Yeah, you definitely need to get to more. I want to get to more too, and it's time. It's time. It's ridiculous. I don't have enough of it. But then again, I do too much.
Yeah. So there's so many challenges in business, as you would know. It's how do we approach this? And I guess it was getting in rooms with people and finding out how they did it and where they failed or where they wish they did better. And yeah, it's a constant challenge.
Mm. How do you navigate working in a male-dominated industry or industries?
I think I'm a bit of a weird one, but I've always been fine. I was always one of the boys at school, and I probably sometimes worse than the guys, to be honest. And I came into my trade, when it was rough. Well, not rough. For me, it fueled my fire. Like, for me, people doubting me was it was fuel. I loved it. And I really embraced it. And personally, I've had a good run. I think I've just let the work speak for itself. If someone thinks I'm shit, let them think I'm shit. I came into underground mining. I'd never seen one of these machines, and I was asking the apprentice where a filter was. I knew what I was looking for, and they just thought, oh, she's really dumb. And it wasn't.
You're just learning.
You just got to give it time and just back yourself. I'm not too proud to ask if I don't know. I don't care what you think. Yep. I know my abilities, and the only way to improve is to ask questions.
That's exactly right.
So I think my ability to back myself and not care what they think.
What advice would you give to a woman looking to get into this space?
I not just women, men too. Look, if you love it, don't do it if you don't love it.
That's exactly right. That's what we spoke about before.
If you're not passionate, when it gets hard, you're going to step out. So and you don't need to just love what you do. You need to fall in love with the process and fall in love with the game and the chase.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's a constant chase and it's a constant battle, and you've got to love it because you'll drop out.
Yeah.
But
passion, I say passion, love, or money.
Yeah.
And usually the people going for money
don't make it.
Are the people that are just like, oh, this got too hard, or I'm not making bank, or I'm not able to drive this car, or I'm not able to buy this whatever.
Yeah.
You certainly, it's love and passion. If you can find something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's the mining industry for me.
Yeah.
And chatting to rad people is as a passion.
Yeah,
of mine,
for me, it's what I do. I think I drive my partner nuts because I am obsessed. It's like, when you get new parents and they're so obsessed with their baby, it's the cutest baby, even if it's not.
Oh, that's the one for me.
That's what I'm like with the business. Yeah. It's like I'm that new parent with this ugly baby maybe. And
posting all the photos. Yeah. Look at this kid. It's got like a cone here that's doing some whack shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, I'm that new parent, and I think I drive Carly nuts, but she's super supportive.
Awesome.
But what else I would say is get around people who are where you want to be.
Yeah.
Be the dumbest person in the room.
Oh, I love that. I say that all the time. It's always me. I'm the dumbest person in the room.
Ask questions. Like, I think I even asked you, I'm like, I need to pick your brain on this, and this.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if I'm a subject matter expert in fuck all, but...
Any information's information,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, data collection.
You don't have to take it on. Even just because someone gives you advice doesn't mean you need to take it.
That's exactly right.
So, but put yourself in rooms with people who are where you want to be. Surround yourself with, people who have what you want. Not necessarily have what you want, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And get a good accountant.
Great accountant.
Get a great accountant.
Yeah,
and
most definitely.
Who's good at forecasting.
That's right. What is your vision for Downright Diesel? So you got 6 staff at the moment?
Yep.
What are you going to do? How are you going to grow?
Yeah, well, this is always, vision is big, and it doesn't have to be huge, but, we'd like to have a workshop and some machines on hire, but I think the biggest part of that is to accommodate, some apprentices and really try and instill this old school way of being a mechanic, not a fitter. Yeah. Like, get back to being mechanics.
What do you think, what's the difference?
The difference
what's going to annoy some fitters out there?
Looking for the why and being able to fix something, pull it apart and be curious about how this works. Why did this fail? Like, something might fail, but then they replace it twice. That's not a coincidence. Like, look further.
Yeah.
Look further into why this happened. And, we had another client who constantly doing cylinders. Okay, well, and then we've come on board and we're like, why are you spending this much on cylinders? And it was that all we did was said, let's trial these sleeves over the rods. We haven't done any cylinders.
Wow.
So, awesome. There's $100,000 saving.
Yeah, and so that client is going to absolutely keep you coming back.
It's just
because you're able to look further.
Yeah, so it's going beyond just take that off, put that on and get it out the door.
Is that what a fitter does?
That's what a fitter does.
Just fits and changes, eh?
That's why they're called a fitter.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to South Africa, it's like almost offensive to call someone who's a mechanic a fitter. Like, it's so get back to mechanics, and not just mechanics, but auto sparkies, boiler makers, and so the vision's big. It's just a matter of maybe it's not the smartest way to do business, but I'm not going to scale for the sake of scaling. And the team's very on board with all of that. Everything, I'm very open with them. So we work with a business coach. So when we did that, we did our 1 year. When I got the sheet for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year goals, the first thing I did is send it to them.
Awesome.
What are your personal goals? So not just professional, like professional and personal. Where do you want to be in 10 years? I know I don't want to be laying under a jumbo pulling carrier hoses out. Like, is that what you want to be doing in 5 years? And a lot of them were like, I've never thought about it. I said, let's think about it.
That's really inspiring. I do the same every year with my staff. I say the same thing. what are your goals for the next 12 months? I'm not just I'm not interested in the business goals. I'm interested in their personal goals and how we can work together to achieve them.
Yeah. So the vision is not only to build a business, but build people.
Yeah.
And build them into where they want to go and, what they want to do. I said, we're in a unique position here. We can make this whatever we want.
Yeah.
And
that's inspiring, Amy. Thank you.
So one of the guys was like, I'll pitch in, however much. If we buy a machine, can I pitch? I said, yes. If you got skin in the game, you're going to be more motivated, and I'm all for it. Like, the people are the key, and I think the vision is the people is the big one.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
finally, I've interviewed so many people.
Yeah.
And skin in the game is the key.
It is the key.
It's the key. It really is.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. No one's told me that.
Yeah.
Apart from you, but I've always done it.
Yeah.
I've our staff, skin in the game.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's so much to it, and having a vision is big, and it's scary, and it's how do we get from A to B with, and not sacrifice our values. And, saying no to jobs is hard because you need it, but at the same time, I say to those clients, I might say no 5 times, but that 6th time when I say yes, you know what you're getting. And my brother's like, why would someone wait a month for you to look at their machine? I said, that's what you don't want that, but that's their decision.
Yeah, they can go
This is what I can do.
They can get a fitter, or they can get a mechanic.
That's it. So
I like that. Change your slogan. That's
yeah, don't hire a fitter, hire mechanics.
Yeah, bloody oath.
So, you don't want to say no, but staying true to what we want to build and where we want this to go, I think is key, because the minute you start to sacrifice that for profits and sacrifice that just to be a yes man, it's gonna dilute what we offer. And unfortunately, profits do drive things. But if we're, making enough profit to get by, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's happy days. Paying those wages,
Yeah.
making sure you're paying everyone super.
Yeah.
Some companies don't do that. I've been told recently. A little bit shocking. So we always end the episode with best advice you've heard.
Ooh.
Best advice you've heard, or given.
Or given. I don't give very good advice.
Neither do I. Apart from changing a slogan. That's awesome advice.
Yeah. Best advice is fail fast, learn faster. Don't be scared to fail. And not like
that's
fail
an entrepreneurial spirit,
But
so
not just in entrepreneuring, like in my apprenticeship, when I was just out of my apprenticeship, and I think this was a really huge turning point in my career, is, as an apprentice, I had a leading hand that he was all right, very straightforward, but you'd get times where you do something and you'd stuff it up or not do it properly. You're like, I should have done it myself. So you kind of get in this thing where you want to get everything right, perfect, but then I had a new leading hand, and I said, I think it's this. What do you think? He goes, try it. If it's not that, you've learnt something. And I think when I really changed my mindset to just give it a go, like not intentionally stuffing it up, but genuinely giving it a go, I learnt so much more. I became a better mechanic, and that kind of flowed into business now. It's like, and you've got to move fast. You just got to be faster than your competitors. So fail, but learn faster, and
that's amazing.
Say yes before you're ready.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never be ready.
That's exactly right.
If you wait till you're ready, you will never do it.
Yeah.
So
when we first started CTO, I held the website back from opening it up for so long. And I just came to the realization one day, I was just like, I will never, ever like this website.
Yeah.
I will never like it. I will never think it's great. I will never think it's amazing. I'll never think the code is right. I will just never be happy with it.
Yeah.
There will always be something to add. There will always be something to change. And then we launched it, and the feedback from the clients was, this is pretty bloody choice.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So that was the same thing. And then, but even still now, it's just improved at a great rate of knots. The team do an absolutely amazing job, but yet I still log in and I, go through everything. And I'm just
I do the same.
I don't really like that. But it's just, I just realized that I'll never be happy.
No.
With so many things.
And you learn by doing.
Yeah.
Like, as humans, as, babies, they learn by doing.
Yeah.
And
falling over, walking,
exactly.
then running.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love
so
it.
it's the same in business, the same in your trade, the same in your life. Like, just give it a crack. What's the worst that'll happen? You might lose some money, but you would have gained knowledge.
Yep.
And I can guarantee any other business owner or anyone else has done it. Like, oh, shit, failed here. But they didn't stop. They didn't let it stop them. They just kept going.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Amy, look, thank you so much for coming and spending the time. We covered some amazing ground.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again.
No, thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for tuning into another episode on the Gold Room. Hope you like this one. Obviously, you need to give a call to Amy at Downright Diesel. And remember, you want a mechanic, not a fitter.